frustrating winter has come and gone for Toledo drivers.
Well, you told us where Toledo's meanest streets are, and 13 ABC's Heather Pollauf took that list to city administrators to find out what they're doing to give you a smoother drive. She shares their plans in this special report, all new at 6.
Drivers have dealt with them all over Toledo.
Do I have to say the potholes are bad? Yes, they're the worst I've ever seen.
Toledo's potholes are so bad in some areas that you can't even drive with a steady cup of water in the car, causing serious damage, even sending you out of your way just to avoid them.
I had to get a new rim and new tire.
That's why I went down Secor.
Really?
Instead of Douglas.
Like sometimes I won't go down that part of Douglas across Lasky because it's so bad, and you can't really avoid them either because it's right in the middle of the road.
Katie Bingle fears that those potholes in the middle of the road put her and her children's lives in danger.
When people are swerving out of the way and you're trying to still drive as well, and especially on narrow roads where it's 2 lanes and people are trying to avoid that, that makes me nervous because I usually have children in my car and, I just don't want to be sideswiped or anything like that.
Dawn Newbert says she's from Toledo, but frequently drives outside of Ohio. She says she's never seen potholes like these.
Dirt roads. I would compare some of our streets to them.
Yeah, no,
and I drove from here to Florida, so trust me, these are probably the worst potholes I've seen.
You told us that Toledo's meanest streets include Detroit Avenue, the Anthony Wayne Trail, and here at Central and Talmadge. We took that list to the city of Toledo, and they say that the first line of defense, sealing cracks in the pavement.
We're in a cold climate. We have a lot of freeze-thaw cycles. Water gets underneath pavements during freeze-thaw cycles, and it basically pushes the asphalt up, blows potholes in it. Crack sealing ultimately keeps water out of your pavement and reduces potholes.
Once the pothole opens up, it's a fight for funding.
All of our arterials, such as Monroe or Reynolds or Alexis, all of those are actually funded when we do those projects primarily by federal or state funding. So those are competitive, where we go out and put in applications, compete against all of the other municipalities in the county and the region, and we definitely put in more applications trying to get money than we can get funded.
For that reason, the city says that being pothole-free will likely never happen.
We try to get to as many roads as we can. We try and stretch our dollars as far as we can get them. And right now, we just don't have the budget to hit every road. And I don't think that's unusual. I think most cities across the country and through Ohio are experiencing the same thing.
But the city is making the most of the money that they have right now. Stevens says that a 2019 reconstruction project on the Anthony Wayne Trail was actually moved up to this year. And both Detroit Avenue and Alexis Road are on tap to be resurfaced in the next couple of years. The city is already working on busy areas like Central Avenue and Monroe Street. For everywhere else in the city, lots of patience, careful driving, and make sure you're giving those street workers plenty of room. Heather Pollauf, 13 ABC Action News.
Now, the city does factor in the complaints it gets for certain streets, but the decision of where the next patch goes ultimately depends on the condition of the pavement, traffic flow, and funding. To submit a pothole complaint, you can call Engage Toledo 419-936-2020.
Heather Pollauf is just off the expressway. Northbound I-75 still a mess.
Yeah, Jeff and Sasha, in fact, cleanup still underway on northbound I-75 just past Collingwood, and I'm joined by Lieutenant Kevin Toney with Toledo Police. Do you guys have any idea, first of all, how this crash even happened? You don't see something like this every day.
So it's a 2-vehicle rollover accident. We're still working on exactly how it occurred, but we know that the 2 vehicles, the white SUV and the red car behind us, collided at some point just past the Collingwood entrance ramp. They rolled numerous times, both vehicles, and the SUV ended up on the other side of the barrier, and then the red vehicle ended up just over here. So significant damage to both vehicles.
And a couple people were actually taken to the hospital from this.
Yes, I'm told, thankfully, that we're looking at minor injuries at this point for the 2 occupants of the red vehicle. Surprisingly, the driver and single occupant of the red vehicle took off on foot. So we're looking for that suspect driver right now.
So the 2 occupants of the white vehicle were taken to the hospital?
Correct.
Okay, and you said someone from the red vehicle actually took off and you're looking for them.
Yeah, we have witnesses that said that the driver hobbled up the embankment there and then fled. So we're checking the area, and obviously if anyone in the area of the art museum notices someone hobbling around, give us a shout. I don't have a great description on that person right now, but we're still investigating. So.
Sure, absolutely. Now, once you do find that person, are they going to be facing any specific charges for this crash?
We're still investigating exactly how the accident occurred, but certainly leaving the scene of an accident would be a charge there.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you so much for joining us live today again. This is affecting drivers northbound I-75. Traffic's backed up all the way to Rossford, and we are seeing delays of up to 43 minutes on northbound I-75 this afternoon. Jeff and Sasha.
There are also some road closures happening in relation to the 4th and the 419. 13 ABC's Heather Pollauf joins us live with that in our Contrada Law Time Saver Traffic. Hey, Heather.
Hi, Jeff. Yeah, you just mentioned those splash pads down here at Promenade Park. We've already got a ton of people out here enjoying those. Also, setup is already underway out here, getting ready for thousands of people to come downtown. So if you head downtown, maybe in the next couple of minutes, you'll be surprised to see not a lot of traffic out here. But of course, that is going to change. Now, if you take a look at the map that we have in our system, the city of Toledo says you're going to be dealing with a couple of closures down here. Of course, we've got the MLK Bridge closing at 9 o'clock tonight to vehicular traffic. Of course, the city says pedestrians will be allowed up on that bridge to watch the fireworks display. Also, Summit Street going to be closed inbound between Cherry and Washington. So that's going to be inbound only. So if you're trying to get out of downtown Toledo during that time, of course, they'll let you out. So again, all of this for the thousands of people expected in downtown Toledo tonight for the 4th and the 419. So be prepared for those. The city says that once the fireworks are over, of course, everything will be back open, but expect a lot of traffic. Make sure you bring your patience with you, because if you've ever been downtown for the fireworks display, of course, you know that it takes a long time to get out. The city also urges drivers, if you're going to be coming down here for the 4th and the 419, park on the side of downtown that you're going to be going to after the fireworks. So if you live on the east side and you're going to be heading back to home afterward, make sure you park on the east side of the river and so forth. Of course, for everything you need to know about all of the closures happening in downtown Toledo tonight, get connected to 13abc.com. That's a check your Contrada Law Time Saver Traffic.
You've probably seen them along the highway, the State Farm trucks with the big boards on top of them.
And all part of the free service through the Ohio Department of Transportation, helping stranded vehicles on the side of the road. 13 ABC's Heather Pollauf rode along with the Freeway Safety Patrol to find out why that job is so dangerous and so important.
Orange barrels, flashing lights, and signs all tell you the same thing. Pay close attention to what's ahead of you. But what you do with that information can mean the difference of life and death, not only for those stranded or involved in an accident, but the emergency responders trying to help.
Getting stranded along the highway can be scary. It's the law for drivers to change lanes when they see someone along the side of the roadway, but that doesn't always happen. ODOT's Freeway Safety Patrol is meant to help give drivers an extra heads up.
They help to direct traffic around crashes on our major roadways. So they assist law enforcement and first responders.
Jeff Hoff has been patrolling Toledo's expressways for 3 years.
It's scary. It is extremely scary.
He says drivers who aren't paying attention have hit his truck 5 separate times. He's constantly watching and listening.
It's always that noise. You always listen for the rumble strip. I think it's one of the best things in the world that they ever put out here on the road.
Hoff walks just inches from 65-mile-per-hour traffic when he's out in an incident.
If you don't constantly look over your shoulder when we're putting out cones, when you're just out there, even when I'm on the side of the road helping somebody, I'm always looking behind me, because you never know.
The Freeway Safety Patrol has helped more than 500,000 drivers throughout Ohio since its start in 2011. More than 52,000 of them just here in Toledo. They can help with minor mechanical things like changing tires. Sometimes they're the first on scene of a crash, so workers are trained in CPR. But their main job?
Try to help get motorists to a safe place. You know, if they have a flat tire, they break down, to get them off the road, and then a service like AAA or somebody else can come through and help that motorist further.
The trucks are sponsored by State Farm to reduce the cost to taxpayers, and it's a convenient service. All you have to do is call 911 and the Safety Patrol will be dispatched to your location and stay with you until law enforcement or AAA arrives. Heather Pollauf, 13 ABC Action News.
becoming a meteorologist starts with a strong passion for the weather, but it takes years of school to understand the science and to be qualified to do the job. 13 ABC's Heather Pollauf is working toward becoming certified right now. She gives us an in-depth look at the process.
Well, this data might not make sense to you viewers at home, but meteorologists analyze images just like this every day, including when the weather poses life-threatening hazards. Now, what you're looking at is data from the Lake Township tornado that struck in June 2010, and this is the result of what was happening when that data was recorded. Now, the storm killed 7 people and destroyed dozens of buildings, including Lake High School, and understanding the thermodynamics of storms that day helped 13 ABC's meteorologists track that devastating storm.
Almost anybody can call themselves a weather person.
Meteorologists do more than just present the forecast. Understanding the physics and chemistry of the atmosphere is pivotal to forecasting the weather.
There's this laundry list of courses that any student would have to take to be a meteorologist. The atmospheric chemistry, atmospheric physics, atmospheric dynamics, synoptic meteorology.
It is a lengthy process. It's a several-year program. You can't just go online and complete a couple modules and become a meteorologist.
To work as a professional meteorologist, a bachelor's degree is required. But if you already have a degree in another field, you have an online option.
We have students take a couple classes in forecasting and things like satellite and radar interpretation. So we focus on how to use the meteorology information to do forecasts, which is what most students do when they graduate.
Mississippi State University's Broadcast and Operational Meteorology certification fulfills the credentials needed for a seal of approval that many meteorologists strive for. After graduating and passing a written test, a meteorologist gets their seal of approval.
Takes dedication, a lot of smarts as well. And Heather, where do you find the dedication to do this? What's driving you to get certified?
Okay, well, my passion for weather, I've always loved it since I was younger. My gateway storm, I talk about that on our website. But as far as going through the process, it takes a lot of time, a lot of dedication. So working a full-time job and going for the certification, a lot of time is spent on the weekends, after work, stuff like that. So it just takes a lot of dedication, whether you're going for the full degree or you're doing, the Mississippi State classes, especially through Mississippi State Online. Yeah. All of their semesters are back to back to back for 3 years. So
there's really no break.
No break.
It's back to back. It's from one thing to the next.
No. So I'm counting down until August when I graduate.
All right. Well, we'll look forward to that. Congratulations early, and we'll see you on TV in the morning with traffic.
Yes.
And you do weather as well here. So thank you so much.
Sure.